These past 2 weeks, I've been excited about two things. Really beginning the study and dining room renovations to make my little old house a lot more comfortable to live in and to take a break. I never really stop working nowadays because there's always more to do, and after 2 years of being here and renovating this place on my own, it's still a huge mess and a work in progress. I have 3 main rooms in the house, and the study is the second that I'll be tackling. So this week I started to work on the ceiling, and the idea was to sand and paint everything before moving on to the windows. This seems like a simple job, and it is, but it's also monotonous and time consuming. You know what? I feel really good about myself because I sanded the ceiling. It's really exhausting. Okay, what I haven't done is sand in those grooves. The grooves have so much paint on them that they're basically just going to stay a mess, to be honest. But I am going to try and clean it up just a bit better. Just sort of try and scrape it a bit cleaner. After sanding everything with a handheld sander, I decided to fill all the cracks in between the tongue and groove. That got pretty gross. I don't know how long this is actually going to improve everything because the caulk I've been using elsewhere is starting to crack already. Halfway through I ran out and switched to outdoor seal, which might actually turn out to be a better option because it seems to be more silicone based, and I haven't seen it crack in the few places where I used it before. There are so many things that I should be doing, that I need to be doing, that I want to be doing. So I just spent months working on this guest house, and I'm finally starting my future study and dining room in the main house, which I'm really excited about. At the same time, I have all of these things in the garden that I really want to be doing. I really want to build a terrace, but it's too much. I've been wanting to go on just a small break since I moved here. And I never do it, but I now have the perfect excuse. So I decided to accept a gift. Gift is it's in that box. It's like 50 kilos, so I'm going to open up the box right where it is. I think when you see what it is, you're going to understand why I said yes, because it's kind of cool. Oh my goodness, it's huge! I mean, do you get it? You know, I've got this little bike which I got when I first moved in here, and it's a foldable bike, so it's got tiny wheels and it's really cute, and I use it a lot even though I've got better bikes. This is like the beefed up version of that cute bike, and that is why I said yes. It is so... oh my gosh, look at these fat tires. Right. I think I found the instruction manual. Tools. Putting this bike together actually wasn't as difficult as I thought it might be. It's all just wrapped up pretty tight and takes some concentration. I think these fat tire bikes are just so funny to look at in the best way that I couldn't say no to receiving one and trying it out. This light is one of the coolest features of this bike. It is so funny. It's such a funny Hey, look at that! You're such a funny bike. Also, putting this together, it's not so bad. I'm going to try and ride without the battery. Oh wow. It also gives me the perfect excuse to take the break I've been wanting to take but never do, because I always prioritize working on the house. So my plan is to pack my bag, bring my camping gear and just cycle away for a few days and explore. It's like my mini bike on steroids, and I'm going to go on a mini trip. I'm so looking forward to going on a mini trip. Wow, okay. I'm gonna charge the battery now. I think I went a bit mad with the caulking, but it's looking quite clean. It feels so good to finally actually be doing something in this room. I have to wait for this all to dry very well before I can paint it. I'm going to start sanding these windows and possibly doing some demolishing. While I was waiting for the caulk to dry, I began work on the windows. So the plan was to sand them on the inside and paint them a plain white paint, which I picked up sometime months ago. Then I'll paint them the final color at a later date. But once I started sanding, I realized that all the chipped off paint was getting stuck in between the window and the windowsill. And the only way to clean it was to actually take out the windows completely. All of this gunk is disappearing in this gap. So now I'm just wondering if I should make this project a bit bigger. And oh my gosh, and take out these windows. So in theory it should be easy enough to lift them out. Problem is, how easy is it going to be to actually put them back in? Although fixing this exterior was a project I was going to do this year, so maybe I should just do it. Gosh. So this basic sand and paint job turned into a much bigger ordeal, of course, because I figured if I was going to take out the windows, I should try and clean them up on the outside as well, because they really need to be fixed. I have thick layers of paint that's just flaking off, and the putty has completely dried out and is falling off everywhere. Okay. And I lost the window. Wait. Oh dear. Well, that's odd. I did the best job I could scraping the paint off the windows, but it's still really messy. I don't really want to use chemicals to get rid of all the paint because I don't have a good way of disposing of all of it. So I'm hoping that for now it will at least keep these windows going for a while longer. I did realise that I need to replace some window flashing which came off when I took out the window, so unfortunately the tail continues and I'm not quite done working on them just yet. I think this is it. I've been preparing all morning and I'm going with that one. I have a very heavy backpack filled with cheese sandwiches. Alright, I'm gonna go and I will see you out there somewhere. Okay, first impressions. This little bike is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. There is these two little boys on the other side of the road and I just know they were really jealous of me. Like, I can tell you that. I am absolutely sure they were looking at my bike just going, wow, I want one of those. This bike is crazy. It is fun. It's very stable, which I was very curious about because I've never been on like a motorcycle type bike, and this is kind of like a motorcycle, I'm guessing. But it's very easy to ride. It's really fast. Like, I'm actually almost wondering whether there's something wrong, because even in a low assist mode, flat road, I don't barely do anything. It takes me to like 22, 23 kilometers per hour, and surely that should be less. But yeah, it's fun to ride, so I'm excited. This is all the stuff I put on here. I have my backpack, my hiking backpack, and because there's no space for like a basket because of the light at the front, I have my two handbags. And it actually works really well. Like, there's no space here because of the lights. I feel like it would be really cool to like make little bags specifically for the bike. I cycled to this random tiny little village and there's all of these houses. It's so cute. These are cute little cabins. We have a big lake over here. There's people here, but it's fun to go and see something different for once. Trying to find a campsite and I am failing. I'm just looking for something in the woods right now. I had this idea of camping right next to a lake, and somehow that does not seem to be an option. So yeah, I think I'm gonna get back on the bike and just gonna keep on going. I am just painfully exhausted. It is, I don't know, so like 8 or something, and I found a spot to camp finally. I can't begin to tell you how many times I took my bike and pushed it into the forest and then had to come back, which is not easy because this bike is very heavy, but I made it. There is actually a road like right there, so I am in full view of people, but at the same time I haven't seen any cars here. I don't think it's a road that anybody takes. So yeah, strangely enough there is like a picnic table here, and like there is a fire pit behind me, but I'm just going to set up my tent and huddle inside and not come out for a while. I woke up with the sun shining on me, and it was 3:30 in the morning. I am very dehydrated, but the only water I have is in the little lake. The only thing I do have, drinking wise, is this. Gone for a short hike, and it's very rocky here. It's gorgeous. let's talk about this little bike. I am 112 kilometers in. My battery is at 12%. I'm hoping I can make it home because this bike is very heavy without using the assist. Cycling to me is exercise. So I have been pedaling and I actually turn off the assist when I go downhill or it's completely flat and I don't need it. So I think that's why I've been able to save batteries and I've been able to get quite far. But this is a cute bike. It's definitely very different from any other e-bike. I guess it kind of serves a slightly different purpose. I mean, you can do long distance with it, but I think it's kind of marketed as like a fun bike to have. I put this bike through a lot. I did the normal tarmac roads, just nice and clean, and then I went off trail. I was on these crazy, like insanely rocky roads. Glad I had these wheels because otherwise I would have been quite paranoid about getting a flat tire. Yesterday I found myself on this like insane mountain bike trail, like smallest road, steep ups and downs and curves, ended up pushing it. And that was tough. I mean, I guess it allowed me to try out the push assist, which worked, so that was good. I have been really enjoying it. I'm now thinking about going on just tiny trips, knowing how far I can get. I got the thumbs up from another kid. I guess I'm headed home now.
Ever since this ride, all I've really thought about was going on another trip. Even though it's not really the sort of bike that's made for long distances, I actually really enjoyed it for that purpose because a lot of the roads here are unsealed and rocky, and knowing that the fat tires will be okay is quite nice. The bike I have is the Ovia, which is a step-through design, so it's meant to be easy for anyone to use. It has 7 gears and 3 pedal assist modes, which give a smooth assist, although they're all set quite high. I think those could benefit from a better range, so you have the option of going a bit slower but still using the power assist mode. I was also given some links and a discount code, so I will leave those in the description box for those of you who might be interested in getting a bike like this.
Home! There you go. 127.4 kilometers, 7% battery left. And funnily enough, I didn't have any hay fever issues until I got to about a kilometer of where I live. So there must be something growing right here that I don't like. I realised that one of the fun things about going away is that you cycle around all of these areas and you can look at people's houses and the colours and the gardens, and when I came back I realised what an absolute mess my garden is. The grass is growing in such a patchy way, it looks really bad, but I guess that's something to sort out at one point. I do have some nice blooming flowers though. This is my first attempt at puttying the window, and I don't really know how to use it, but I think, yeah, this is the one. You need it and then you apply it. But this is what I have. I have putty, soapy water, and not a putty knife. I'm very slowly sort of getting the hang of it. I'm still working on these windows and I am just happy I don't have more in this room. It just takes so much time to sand because they're so old. But the good thing is that when they're done, I'll have windows that will look so much better than they do right now, and I won't need to worry about them for quite a while. Honestly, I'm really just looking forward to not being covered in white dust anymore. After this, I'll be laying the new floor, and wow, that's going to make another huge difference again. Although, I don't know, all I really want to do right now is just grab my bag and hop on the bike and explore just a little bit more.